We will talk about Yes Bank's restructuring and results of December 19th, that is third quarter, which has been declared on 14th March. Okay, so first of all, we will go to the good news that has been announced by the Yes Bank and the RBI and the Government of India that moratorium is to be lifted at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, that is 18 Feb 2020. That's the good news for all the retail depositors and the big depositors, as they will be able to withdraw their hard-earned money from the Yes Bank, which has been put under moratorium on 6th March. That's a big step because people are relieved today that they are able to get their money back. And there's another big news is that Mr. Prashant Kumar, former CFO and Deputy MD of SBI, will be the new CEO and MD of Yes Bank. That's a big news because Mr. Prashant Kumar has a wide experience of banking and is associated with the government for a long time. That will help the Yes Bank to grow in difficult times. So, other quick facts about Yes Bank restructuring are the authorized capital of Yes Bank has been increased to rupees 6200 crore. That's a big increase in the authorized capital, and we have other investors who have put their money. So the first and prime most is SBI that will infuse 7,250 crore and will take about 49% of the equity. That's a big deal for them as this is the only bank that will help the SBI as that will help the Yes Bank survive. And we are very well aware Mr. Prashant Kumar is the former Deputy MD of SBI who is in the wheel of the boat who will help this boat to survive in these difficult times. Other investors that have come on board to save the Yes Bank from devastating or getting destroyed is HDFC that will infuse about 1000 crores. ICICI will also infuse 1000 crores. Axis Bank will infuse 600 crores. Kotak Mahindra Bank will infuse 500 crores. Bandhan Bank will infuse 300 crores and Federal Bank will infuse 300 crores. Total, we have big seven investors, and that coincidentally are all big banks in India, which will together bring about capital of 10,900 crores. That will help the bank to go through these difficult times. And other important thing we will get to know from this video that after infusing the approved capital into the Yes Bank, the banks will hold a certain stake, as SBI will hold approximately 45.74% stake in the lender, and ICICI and HDFC Bank, though they are investing the same amount of 1000 crores, may be able to hold 6.31 each, and Axis and Kotak Mahindra Bank will hold approximately 3.5% each stake in the Yes Bank, and that's a good thing for the Yes Bank as these big investors will also get their board seats and help the bank to grow. And it is really appreciable from the government of India that they have taken a swift action to have this lender survive. Otherwise, there will be very devastating effects on the financial markets and the total finance sector, as we are very well aware what happened with IL and FS. With that, there is a liquidity problem arose and other factors which had or you can say which fasten the devastating effects on the stock market and the liquidity sector, which led to the collapse of certain NBFCs because there is shortage of liquidity in the market. So now we will move forward, and there are certain conditions put by the board, I mean the cabinet. The draft plan there were conditions also in the draft plan, and you will get to know that SBI will not reduce its shareholding below 26% before completing of 3 years from the date of infusion of capital. That's a big deal as I think this will help the bank to stabilize their operation in 3 years, and SBI being the majority shareholder, it will also help the Yes Bank with the capital deposits and other problems it is facing right now, and it will help the bank to grow much faster comparable to other investors who may have come on board. But there is a very uncertain and new thing which has come in our notice, that there is a lock-in period for other investors, including retail investors who hold 100 or more than 100 shares of Yes Bank on the date of commencement of this scheme, the scheme that is restructuring of Yes Bank. That's a very odd clause that has been come to our notice, but seeing at the positive sides of this, we can figure it out that uh, we can figure it out there is a lock-in period of approximately 3 years and they cannot sell 75% of their shares. They cannot sell their 75% of the shares in this lock-in period of 3 years and they can only trade for their 25%. I think this step has been taken by the government to ensure stability in the share prices of Yes Bank and also to safeguard the interest of retail investors who get panicked very easily. Maybe that will help them in their long term. Let's see what will be the results. And yesterday, results of Yes Bank were declared on 14th March. So the results was quite bad. They have declared a loss of 18,564 crores in the third quarter. That's quite a big loss comparable to the last quarters where it was only thousand odd crores only. And the NPA has increased from 7.39% in September quarter to 18.87% gross NPA. That is a huge jump because that amounts to 40,709 crores of loans of Yes Bank. That's a huge jump. We can't imagine that. We never thought that it would be such a big jump. But the major factor is leading to that high amount of gross NPAs is corporate NPA, and it stands at 97%, amounting 39501. That is 39,501 crores. That leads to such a big loss of the Yes Bank. Provisioning coverage has increased to 73% from 43% in the previous quarter. They have given provisioning for most of the loans. I think so. Hopefully, from next quarter, we could have some good lining. Maybe from 2 quarters at least, because this quarter is almost near the end and there is a coronavirus on the door. Liquidity is already shrinked. So let's see. But I think the big investors which are on board will surely help the Yes Bank, and the government is very much determined to save the Yes Bank. So hopefully the government efforts will bear the fruits. And it is really appreciable on the part of the government that they have taken such a swift action. That is remarkable effort, we should say. Other important things that has come to our notice in the results is CET1 ratio, that is common equity tier 1, is at 0.6% as compared to 7.37% which is required as mandatory by the RBI guidelines. That is why RBI has put a moratorium on that, because they think that it is not able for them to able for the Yes Bank to raise capital and they may not survive for too long. That's why they have put a moratorium on Yes Bank on 6th March, and that helped the bank to survive, I think so, for the time being. Other important thing that has come to our notice that depositors had started moving money out of Yes Bank from the last quarter itself. 40,000 crores moved from October to December in the December quarter, and the bank has been left with 1.65 lakh crores. And one more bad news is that 30,000 crores has been moved from January till now, and the bank is left with 1.37 lakh crores. 81 bonds worth rupees 8415 crores has been written down to zero. That's quite sad. Maybe they will go to now court or something else. It has to be decided by the government and the courts. And maybe the investors, what they will do, they must have some negotiations with the government, what could be done for the safety of that. But according to the principles of banking, 81 bonds are not secured and they have to be collapsed to zero. The value has to be collapsed to zero whenever there is a amalgamation scheme or restructuring scheme of the Yes Bank. Thanks for your time. Subscribe our channel for further updates and to keep yourself updated about financial markets. Thanks a lot.